You're practising an area which has got two of the longest running co-ops in the country, two very successful ones, and we're actually seeing, particularly in the horticulture side, small co-ops starting up. Now, you come from also a farming background as well, but is there that much knowledge amongst accountants about setting up and then also running and the benefits of a co-op?
No, we find that because they've been fairly few and far between. I mean, you've got your mutuals, your bigger mutuals, your NRMAs, etc., that have existed in the past. But at that cooperative level, where it's everyone shares equally, the people don't quite understand what that means, and it takes a little bit of education around that. It's quite a unique concept to most people.
Well, you're also seeing farmers' books at the moment, the end of the financial year, and conditions now after we've had flood, drought, bushfire, and there's the shadow of COVID as well.
Correct, yeah.
Do you find actually once they're involved with a co-op, whether they're setting it up or getting the benefits of it, these present conditions, is it really ripe for co-ops to even consolidate and grow?
Well, we think it is. We've certainly seen a lot of movement recently. As I said, the BCCM has been provided with funding, and they've used that wisely to educate and provide people with start-up funding, education type funding. And they're coming to see people like us, the BCCM, legal people, to understand what a cooperative looks like and how it can benefit their community. And quite often the benefit of a cooperative is it benefits the community. So you can see not only have you got your big cooperatives like around here, but you've got people looking at buying the local hardware store to keep the business in town. A cooperative structure where everyone shares in the cooperative, they get the benefits out of it, which might mean reduced prices. It might just mean keeping employment in the town. It's as simple as that.
That's a point that's interesting, is that we automatically think of co-ops as essentially producer-driven, producers supplying, or the mutual banks. But the fact that you just used as a really good example, you mean to say that it's even worth, particularly if the primary producers and the townsfolk get together, they can actually set up a co-op that effectively keeps a business running in that town.
In that town, that's exactly right. So we are dealing with someone who's looking at acquiring the local hardware store because it's going to disappear because of competition. There's other cooperatives like workers' cooperatives where you can have a number of workers pooled together and you can draw the workers out of that cooperative and then someone else can use them as well for a resource perspective. So it's pretty endless as to the opportunities you can create from a cooperative. And as I said, everyone shares in it, one member, one vote. So no one's going to get an advantage over anyone else out of it, and everyone shares in the benefits.
Is the legislation there that's making it easy? Because you set up a co-op, whether you're going in with 1,000 members or 5 members, it's probably the same effort, realistically.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah, I think, like any business, nothing's easy. You've got to get your structure right, and that structure in relation to corporate structure and taxation benefits. You've also then got to run the business. So that takes effort, that takes expertise. But like anything, start off small and it'll snowball and it'll get there at the end of the day.
It'd take some other skills of an accountant though, wouldn't it? Because you're setting up primary producers passionate about what they're doing, and there's usually a bit of history in the community. It's not just a matter of saying, right, this is the way you do your books. How much is it also you a bit of a negotiator and a facilitator to get them together so they do know what they're doing?
Certainly, again, similar to another business, you need all sorts of skills around the table, legal, accounting, marketing, whatever it might be, depending on what you want to set up. But the better mix of skills that you got, I guess the better you're going to be in the long run. Some cooperatives, they've got their primary producer members as their members and they sit on the board, but they've got an opportunity through their rules to bring in independent directors and bring some expertise to the table. So that adds value as well.
So the future's looking bright, a bit like primary sector at the moment.
Yeah, it's we've come through a lot, but it's looking pretty good, and the Northern Rivers area is going great guns, and yeah, glad to be part of it. It's a beautiful area.